Well, hello there. Do you have time for a quick story tonight? I wasn't sure if I was going to say anything about this or not, but it's been a couple of weeks and I've had some time to think. Morally and ethically, I feel the need to bring this subject to light. Over the holidays, I was scrolling through TikTok and came across a video a teacher creator had posted. I typically love watching these type videos, and as soon as she started, I realized I immediately had a problem with the content that she created. It was very clear to me that this teacher worked in a very affluent area. As the video progressed, I watched her open gifts from students. Now, most of these gifts were in the form of a gift card, and that's what I want to focus on. She opened every single child's card, read the card aloud, and then said who it was from. That's a breach of confidentiality. She then proceeded to hold the gift card up and state the dollar amount that it was for. As she continued on, she started to compare gifts that students had given her. Now, this is the problem. Not every family can afford to give their child's educator a gift. No teacher ever goes into this job expecting gifts. That's not what teaching is all about. I strongly feel that what this creator did was in very poor taste. And I want to share an example with you from my own personal life to put things into perspective. In the fall, I did a novel study with my students, and part of that novel study really focused on character analysis. When looking at characters, we started talking about vices. I told my students what vices were, and immediately they started to make connections. Now, I've had these kids, most of them, for 2, if not 3 school years now. I know some of you are thinking, those poor kids. Well, yeah, I kind of feel sorry for them too. But you know what? Those kids know me really well. Immediately, they identified that my vices are none other than Mars bars, or really any chocolate in general, and Diet Pepsi. I love this stuff. They make me happy. Now, I know these are not healthy choices and people will probably judge me for that, but so what? Nothing prepared me for what was going to happen in the week leading up to the winter break. Every single day, I arrived at school to see a different package on my desk. And though I never opened gifts in front of students, these kids insisted that I did. It became obvious to me right away that they had worked together to develop a plan. But I wasn't really sure what all the plan entailed. Each day that week, I opened several packages of, well, you guessed it, Diet Pepsi and chocolate. It doesn't matter what type of chocolate because I love all types of chocolate. When I tell you that I have enough chocolate and Diet Pepsi to get me through the rest of this school year, I am not kidding you. Were these gifts super expensive? Absolutely not. One boy, in fact, told me that he walked to Dollarama and he bought me a bottle of Diet Pepsi the night before. He knows I like to drink it nice and cold, so he put it in his fridge and brought it to school first thing the next morning. And although Diet Pepsi is not a traditional breakfast food, you bet yourself I cracked that thing open at 8:45 along with my tea and down it went. Why? Because I wanted him to know just how much I appreciate what he did. We need to move past the idea that gifts have to be big and extravagant. And we also need to stop showing disappointment towards people when they aren't. What these kids did simply warmed my heart. It restored my faith in humanity. Their kindness and generosity made me know that I was valued to them. Because some days, when you've had the same kids for so many years in a row, you really question whether or not they enjoy their experience at school. Not everybody grows up in a family where life is really hard. But trust me, for those kids that do, nothing makes them feel worse at school than the feeling they get by knowing they have not measured up to the rest of the kids. Christmas is a time that is about helping others, just like being a teacher is all about helping kids learn to achieve their goals. It's never about the gifts we receive. The gift that they give us of learning and knowing that they're moving forward should be all that we need. I legit thought that this woman's content was fake until I went and looked at her other videos. I immediately realized that this was actually her real life. My heart aches for those poor kids. I'm not saying never post your pictures, but what I am saying is never post your pictures, reveal who gave it to you, and then do a comparison. For the child sitting in your classroom that can't afford to give you a gift, nothing is more alienating than that. If you made it this far, thank you for continuing to listen, and I truly hope you have a great weekend. Cheers.